Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala ali wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Today we're going to start a new topic, which is Tarkib and Irab of subordinate clauses. Yes. Now there was a request to go over again the types of Zarf that we learned. There were two types of Zarf that we learned that depended on the āmil, what governs their state of mansub or nasab. Yes, but I will do that later after we begin our topic here. Yeah, and then inshallah, maybe 20 minutes towards the end of the lesson, inshallah. Okay, right. So what is a subordinate clause? Now, because we're using a term that is in English, and it's good to know some of the English terms, because sometimes you have references, and most of us have references that are in English. So it is good to understand what the term is, yeah, inshallah, so that it's easier for us to search on the internet, on so on and so forth. So a subordinate clause, if you remember, if you recall, we did something called Jumlatu Sughra, Jumlatu Sughra, yeah, which is basically a sentence within a bigger sentence. Yeah. So this is your subordinate clause. Nothing mysterious, just an English term. Okay. So it's a sentence within the main sentence. Okay. So let's say we have we have here a jumlah fi'liyah. It says here karahtul asnam. Yeah, karahtul asnam, meaning I dislike or I don't like idols. Yes, karahtu al asnam. Now, asnam, as you know, is the maf'ul bihi. Yes, the maf'ul bihi, and here we have the fi'il, the fa'il together, karahtu. So karahtul asnam. Now we might have another sentence saying complete sentence by itself. Yes. Yeah. What do you think this is? What does this say, Sister Mamina?
Do you take to the Salah Jum'ah Salah? Is that take akhara?
Yes.
Do you take to the Salah al-Jum'ah? Do you go, I suppose?
This one is at-ta'haru, means that you're delaying you're going to the Salah. Yeah. So I delayed going to Salatul Jum'ah. Yeah, I delayed going to Salatul Jum'ah. So of course nobody does that. I mean, usually we are asked to, for men anyway, when they go for Salatul Jum'ah, they're supposed to go early. Yeah. So this sentence is at-ta'haru illa Salatul Jum'ah.
Hamza is not a question.
So it's I delayed going to Salatul Jum'ah. So obviously we can put this sentence in here so that you know that the person is telling you actually what he wanted to say was karahtu an at-ta'ahhara illa Salatul Jum'ah. Yeah. So I dislike delaying going to Salatul Jum'ah. Yeah. So here this is a sentence, it is a jumlah fi'liyah, which now behaves like the maf'ul bihi. But we have something called an here. We also learned this one. Yeah, we saw that there are certain sentences when you want it to become something else or enter the slot of a single or mufrad word. Yes, we need something extra. Yeah, we need this. So in this case is your huruf masdar, the one that makes this whole sentence into a single word, so that the sentence can fit the slot of a maf'ul bihi. Yes, so we would say fi mahalli nasab maf'ul bihi in this case. This is what we have gone through. Yeah, we have gone through. So it's just basically revision for you. Yeah, basically revision. So now we can have a subordinate clause with or without the conjunction. Just now we saw an. An was being used, yeah? So that's with a subordinate conjunction. But we have sentences without subordinate conjunction. We saw this as well, yeah? So this is just a revision again, a reminder. This one is a jumlah ismiyah, and we say Allahu rahmatuhu wasi'ah. Yeah? Rahmatuhu wasi'ah. So here we are saying Allah's mercy is vast. Yes, Allah's mercy is vast. This by itself is actually a complete sentence, because there is this ayat. Remember, we learned about ayats that refer back to the mubtada. Yeah, so we could have just said His mercy is vast. This is a complete sentence, but now we are bringing it back to Allah. Yeah, the word lafzu jalallah. So now it becomes Allah's mercy is vast. Yeah, a simpler example. For example, here, Ar-rajulu, sorry, there's a double dhamma there, not sure why. Zahaba illa al-masjidi. Yes, so this itself is, of course, a complete jumlah fi'liyah. Yeah, he went to the mosque. He went to the mosque. Yeah, but we can make it a habar to this jumlah ismiyah, and then it becomes, what do we say here? The translation.
Just the translation. The man went to the mosque.
Yes.
The masjid.
Exactly. Yeah, the man went to the mosque. Yeah, this is how it is. But as you can see, there is no, has the term, the English term would be, there is no subordinate conjunction. It's without a subordinate conjunction. Yeah, we don't have an, we don't have kai, we don't have things like that. So, and here's a final example. This is even more. It's bigger. It's a jumlah fi'liyah with a maf'ul bihi on top of it. Yeah, with a maf'ul bihi on top of it, and it is actually within another jumlah fi'liyah. So we have a jumlah fi'liyah within another jumlah fi'liyah, a bigger sentence. Yeah. So can you try and translate this one?
Ibrahim broke. Is it idols, tamasil?
Yes, that's right. Tamasil is idol.
Ibrahim broke the idols. The people were prostrating to.
Yes, yeah, you're so right. It should be actually idols. I think the translation here is a bit off. Okay, so Ibrahim broke the idol which the people used to worship. Yeah, so should be broke idols which the people used to worship. Inshallah. Right, excellent. So now you know how it's done without a subordinate conjunction. Now, what if we do have the subordinate conjunction? Now, how does this affect our tarkib and our irab? Yeah, we've actually done this, but we will go over it again. Yeah. Now, some of the huruf masdar, and we saw kai. Yeah. But kai normally comes with li kai. If it's not stated, if the li is not stated, then it is implied. Li kai is implied, the li is implied, but kai is actually what makes it a masdar. Li will be your half a jar that comes along with it. Yeah. Then lao, not to be confused with your shartiyah. This lao is not shartiyah. Not if. Yeah, it's not that. It's a different meaning. All right. And there's anna. Yeah, anna, remember, this one works with your isms. Yeah. Ma, this ma as well is not your isim mausul, because this is huruf. Isim mausul is an isim. So ma here is half. So it's not the mausul. We also saw examples. We did examples of when to recognize the ma is isim mausul, when to recognize when the ma is huruf masdari. Yeah, we also saw this, inshallah. Then we have hamzatul istifham. We are not going to do ma and hamzatul istifham for this session. We are just going to stop at ana so that we have time to do our zarf. Yeah, inshallah. Okay. Let's see. We have the first example here. So, translation. What do you think this is?
Ibrahim wanted to break the idols.
Ibrahim wanted to break the idols. Yeah, so we know arada. Arada is to want something. Yeah, to want something.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. What would the Irab be? Now we see the Tarkib. This is the fi'il. This is your outside doer, the fa'il. This whole thing is a Tarkib, remember, is the maf'ul bihi. But the maf'ul bihi is comprised of your mausul harfi, yeah, your subordinate, what do we call this thing in English?
Subordinate clause.
Yes.
Subordinate clause.
Not the subordinate clause. We had a name for it. It's a conjunction. Yeah, it's a subordinate clause conjunction. Yep. So that's what we had.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's put in the translation here. Ibrahim wanted to break the idols. So let's try and do the Irab now. Okay. Arada. What is arada?
الفعل الماضي مبني على الفتح.
Yes.
مبني على الفتح
it's already quite complete already. Yeah, but you need to say now the next one. What is that goes along with the fi'il?
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim would be your
is your mubtada. No, the file.
Yes, it's your file. Subhanallah. Yes, your file, and it is the status is
مرفوع.
مرفوع. Yes, good.
بالضمة.
بالضمة. Yes, excellent. And what do we call an?
An is the حرف what did you say? حرف مصدر.
Yes. What else does it do?
It gives make it nasb
yes,
the following verb.
So this is your harfu masdarin.
Harfu masdar wa
nasbin. Yeah. It also makes your mudari mansub. And al-asnam. Yeah, al-asnam. Oh, sorry, I forgot about this one. I was jumping it. This one first. Yaksira. Yes.
The fi'l mudari. Mansub.
Yes, and the sign is
fatha.
Yeah, and the fa'il.
The fa'il. Oh, the fa'il is he. It's huwa.
Yes, huwa. Good. Yes.
Huwa.
All right. So here we say the fa'il is damir mustatir taqdiruhu huwa because we cannot see it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Al-asnam. What would that be? Yes, and its sign is?
Its sign is fatha.
And the status is?
Mansub.
Yeah, so maf'ulun bihi mansubun bil fatha. Now, we know all this, we've been doing this, yeah? But how do we remember this now, the an, our subordinate clause conjunction, has made this jumlah fi'liyah together with itself one word, yes? The meaning of one word, a masdar. So how do we say this in our Irab? Do you recall how to say this? There is a word called ta'wil. Remember? Ta'wil. So now how do we use this word in the Irab? The last sentence to this Irab. There's one more here.
Yeah, the bottom by the asnam. Bita'wili.
What is bita'wil? What is ta'wil here?
I don't know.
Okay. No, let's just do a reminder. I'm sure you know this. Yes, it's just that it just escapes us for the time being. وأن وما بعدها في تأويل مصدر في محل نصب مفعول به. We know this is in the place of مفعول به, so there's no mystery here. There's no mystery here. But what we're saying here is an, and that which comes after it, بعدها, comes after an, yeah, is in the interpretation of a masdar. We look at it as a masdar. Ta'wili. We interpret it as a masdar, a single word. Yeah, and this single word assumes the ruling of a single word, of course, mansub. But we don't say mansub, we say fi mahal nasbin. Yeah, maf'ul bihi. So remind yourself, remember this, because we're going to have more of this as we go along, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Okay. So now there's another example here. This is with kai. Why we've chosen kai is because of the li. Yeah. So here we're saying that Ibrahim slept li kai, yeah, so that yastarih, he may rest. Yeah, he may rest. Remember, in Arabic sometimes one English word can't really convey the meaning, so it's like you rest, and you gain strength and comfort and stuff like that. Yeah. So here again it's fi'il fa'il, and this whole thing is your muta'alliq, because we're looking at your jar and half of jar, and kay yastarih. Yeah, kay is your mawsul harfi, the one that's making your fi'il and fa'il, your jumlah fi'liya, into a single word together with itself. Okay, together with itself. But to be muta'alliq, you have to have the li, because kai is not a half of jar. Okay, kai is not a half of jar. Only we need it with it needs to come along with li. Okay, this is just one of those things. Yeah, one of those words in Arabic, and it's like that. It comes like that. Okay. Now, let's see how we can go about doing the Irab for this. Yeah. The li here is what we call, since it's not in the sentence, not in the sentence, in brackets, this is your muqaddar. Yeah, we say that it is muqaddar. Yeah, muqaddar. Okay. So nama, you should be able to do both of this very quickly.
Yeah, nama فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح.
Yes. And Ibrahimu is our
فاعل.
Yes.
فاعل
With the
مرفوع بضمة.
Okay. Now, how do we handle kai? Remember, what is kai here?
حرف النصب.
Yes, half of nasab, you're right. Because it's yastariha, yeah, so it is nasbin. But what its main role here is to make it and itself and the fi'il into a masdar. So what do we call it?
تأويل. Did I use تأويل?
Oh, no. Ta'wil is towards the end, but I've just, what do we call it? Harfu nasbin wa
okay. حرف النصب
and
على فتح.
No, not al-Hafad. We will say here.
Oh, I see. Oh, the sign that K gives it. No. So it's.
What does it do? What does it make itself?
Okay.
And the fi'il. What
it gives nasb that mansub.
Yes, and one more. Both this plus this equals to. What's
masdar?
Yes. So this is your harfu masdarin wa nasbin. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we know this. I think you know this already. Same thing, yeah. Fi'il mudhari' mansub bil fathah, fa'il dan mustatir takdiruhu huwa. Yeah. And kai wa ma ba'daha, and what comes after it is taken as or interpreted as a masdar fi mahali jar. Why is it fi mahali jar, you ask? Yeah, because we have the li. The li is not there. Yeah.
Oh yes, the li.
So bila min muqaddara. Yeah, muqaddara.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So kai did not make it majrur. Yeah, but li did. Yes, Kai only
So
worked on here. Yeah, this is
so Kai.
Mhm.
Sorry. So Kai didn't make that mansub. The
No, no, it
yastariha.
does. It did make it mansub. Yes, it
So where
does.
does the
But
li come in? Only for the K.
only for the masdar. Yeah.
Sorry.
N-
Oh, so the whole K yastariha is the masdar. The two together.
Is the masdar. Two together. It's always
Oh,
two together. The conjunction plus the verb together makes the masdar. Not
makes the
just
masdar.
not
So
this.
the two together is then majrur.
Yes, exactly, because of the li.
Oh, I see.
Because Kai has to come with li. Yeah, has to come with li. Whether you
Yes.
see it or not, it has to come with li.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's one of those, as I said, one of those things in the language that we must accept, inshallah.
Okay. So it's separate the two, yeah.
Yes, so
The mansub and the majrur is separate. It's mansub on its own, but with the two together, then it's majrur.
yes. Yes, so
Okay.
this is mansub on its own because Kai
On its own,
is
yes. Yes,
is
because of
masculine.
and then it's majrur because of the two together.
This together is majrur because of the li, which is not
Yes,
there.
because of
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
okay.
Okay.
So-
All right. And here we have another one. So here, as I said, this law is not shartiyah, but it is mausul harfi. This is another term for the same thing. We can call it harfu masdar, or we can call it mausul harfi. Yeah, because we also have mausul ismi. Remember isim mausul?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but this one is harf. Yeah, it is harf, and it
Okay.
it has a ṣilah, which is our fi'il fa'il, and together it makes your masdar, which is now your maf'ul bihi. Yeah, masdar
Okay.
here is a soft term. It just means a single noun. Yeah, a single noun.
Okay.
So now, the Irab, I'll do this for you, inshallah. What do? What's the meaning? But give me the translation. What's the translation, again? You saw it for a
You
while.
gave it just now. They wish to you would disbelieve.
Yes,
They
they
wish-
wish you would
Wish
disbelieve.
that you would
Yeah,
disbelieve.
'cause
Okay.
they were jealous. Yes, the Muslims had a belief and they didn't have anything. They just had idols that couldn't do much. So what do is still your fi'il madin. Yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's mabni ala what? Can you tell me mabni ala?
Ala sukun.
Mm?
Is it this?
This is a doer. This is a fa'il.
The alif.
Nope. Alif just tells
What?
you that this is a doer. Yeah, if it was not here, then the waw would be a root letter of the word. But because this is not a root letter, but the fa'il, you have the alif harika. Yeah. So, what's the end?
Right.
The end of the word is here actually. The verb ends here.
Sudum. Right.
So, what is what's on top of the dal?
The shadda.
Here.
The dhamma.
Yes, dhamma. So it is mabni ala
Dom.
dom.
Dom. Oh.
Just dom. Yeah, dom. And
Just
then
the dhamma.
just dom. So here, because it's mabni, we don't say dhamma, we say ad-dam. Yeah. And then of course wow is your dhamir mutasirun fa'il. Yeah, your waw jama'ah actually basically fi mahali rafa. Yeah, you know that fa'ils are all marfu.
Yeah.
So now how do we describe lao? Lao would be the same thing, right?
Yeah. Hapu masdar.
So it is harfu masdar only because it does not make your jumlah fi'liyah mansub. So this is the thing about lao. Okay, it doesn't make it mansub. Yeah, it is not an āmil. Yeah, lao here is ghair āmil. It doesn't make things. It just to it and the ta'furun becomes one word. Yeah, one word effectively. So here is your mudari. You know that this is bisubutu nun. Yes, with the
Subutu
absence
nun,
of
yeah.
nun if it had been mansub, but it doesn't make mansub, so it's still marfu'. And your waw is of course still your fa'il, just like this waw is the fa'il here. Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah.
Now the last sentence, my dear. This is the third example. So let's see how you can say this. The last line. Lau plus ta'urun is
Is a masdar.
How do we say that?
I forgot the now.
Subhanallah. The word ta'wil is in there. Now, so what?
Yeah,
What
but it
and-
only comes later.
What and what comes after it? Yeah, is interpreted as masdar, and it's fi mahali nasbin maf'ul bihi. So how do I say that? Lau and what comes after it? How do we say that in Arabic?
بعده
Ba'daha. Yes.
بعدها.
Yeah. Then how do we use the word ta'wil in this sentence? What comes before the ta'wil? Walau wa ma ba'daha. Then how do we use ta'wil? No?
I can't remember.
No. Okay. Subhanallah. Okay. It is walau wa ma ba'daha fi ta'wili masdarin fi mahalli nasbin maf'ulun bihi.
I must still learn that sentence because I can't remember that. I must go over it a couple of times.
We just have to keep on memory, because there are other ways of putting this sentence. Yeah, I find that there are other ways of writing this, but I think what Ustad has given here is quite simple to remember. Walau wa ma ba'daha fi ta'wili masdarin, yeah, fi mahalli nasbin maf'ulun bihi. That is in the interpretation of masdar, because this is like a idafa. This is Jawa Majrur, yeah? So in the interpretation of masdar, fi mahalli nasbin maf'ulun bihi. Yeah? Alhamdulillah. Okay, I think this is the... So here, we are going to use anna. Remember? Anna works on isms. Yeah, they work on isms, not on the...
Yeah.
So we have the fi'il fa'il, happily, and maf'ul bihi again. Yeah, we stick to this structure just so that we can understand what's going on. But we don't call it harfu masdari, or we don't call it mausul harfi. Yeah, we call it harfu mushabbah bil fi'il, because it's acting on your isim. It's making your isim mansub. This is half of nasb. Yeah, this is half of nasb. Okay, so what follows it is your isim ana. Isim ana. Yeah, so it's now mansub. And hijaratun is your khabar ana. Because remember, this is for ta'kid, for emphasis. And this was originally a jumlah ismiyah, mubtada habar. Al-asnamu hijaratun. Al-asnamu hijaratun. Yeah, this is ma'rifah, nakirah, mubtada habar. Both were marfu'. However, when ana came along, yeah, ana is āmil, and changed asnam to isim ana, which is marfu, mansub, and change the khabar to hijaratun to khabar ana. Yeah, so the mubtada became isim ana, the khabar became khabar ana. Yeah, so that's what we need to remember. So Ibrahim knows that the idols cannot harm anyone. Anyone here is to emphasize the anna. Yep, we put the anyone so that the ta'kid is there. Okay.
cannot harm. Hijara is not cannot harm. It's
Oh,
anna not.
oh, sorry. This is the wrong translation. It should be,
Oh,
indeed, the idols are stone. Is
mhm.
stone, yeah? Is
Oh,
stone.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Absolutely. But the next slide, the translation is correct. That slide's gone wrong. I think, yeah, that
Oh,
was
was
it.
so there.
Yes,
Okay.
subhanallah. So here it is. Yes, I will correct that one. No, but actually, when I looked at the examples that were given, it was actually this particular slide. Mm, subhanallah. Where are we? Yeah, it was actually la tadurru. You know, not harm. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Allah, is that the right? No, taduru is you harm. They harm. So anyway, um, hijaratun. So it was actually a jumlah ismiyah. This haba
Oh,
ana.
okay.
But I think then he changed his mind, and because it was a bit complicated. Yeah, it was jumlah
Yeah.
ismiyah. Then our Irab would be a bit more involved. So that's why I think on second thoughts he changed it to hijaratun. And I will correct the there. So here يعرف فعل مضارع مرفوع بالضمة. Ibrahimu is your fa'il. So now Anna, how would I say the Irab for Anna? Well, Sister Quratul Ain, Assalamu alaikum. Are you able to speak? Her mic is muted. So maybe not. Maybe listening. Yep. So now, how would we say Anna, Sister Momina? Inshallah.
حرف مصدر.
No. Remember, we said it doesn't. It. We don't say that. We use another term because it's changing the noun to mansub. What was the term that we used?
āmil.
Harf nasab. How do we? There's another way of saying harf nasab for isim.
Mansub.
It resembles a fi'il. How do we say that it resembles a fi'il? This harf.
Is it shaba?
Mushabbih. Yeah, mushabbih.
Mushabbih.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So here we go. Yeah. Ana harfu mushabbihun بالفعل. Mushabbihun بالفعل. Okay, and al-asnam is
Is it?
we saw it in the Tarkib in the previous slide. If you have Anna, this is what and this is what. Yes, this is isim Anna, and it is the sign is
Anna, okay, and it's sign mansub. I mean, it's a fatha.
Yep. And hijaratun
Hijarat is khabar Anna.
and it is marfu' bid-damma. Okay, so what's the last line we just saw the previous side? Yeah, how do we say this?
وأن بعدها في تأويل.
Oh yes. And what comes after that?
في تأويل مصدر.
Yes, masdarin fi.
في محل.
And what's the status? Fi mahali?
نصب.
Yes, maf'ul
مفعول به.
Yeah. So وأن وما بعدها في تأويل مصدر في محل نصب مفعول به. Alhamdulillah. So we have now finished our introduction to subordinate clauses. We will continue inshallah with Hamza istifham and ma, yeah, because that's a little bit more things to it, yeah. But what we do now, we're going to recap within the last 20 minutes, inshallah. If we do get cut off, please do join back in the same link. Yeah, the same link. So now, let's do a recap of the previous session on Shibhul Jumlah. We said that Shibhul Jumlah can be two types. Yeah, what we saw just now, ja wa majrur, and what's the second type?
Is it mudaf ilayh?
Yes, that's right. A special mudaf and it's mudaf ilayh. Yeah, the special mudaf we call it Zarf. Yeah, the special mudaf we call it Zarf. Now, having said that, yeah, Shibhul Jumlah, two types, ja wa majrur and Zarf with its mudaf ilayh. The Zarf that I'm going to describe next is not the Zarf with the mudaf ilayh. The Zarf that I'm going to describe next is a term that is used to describe that this thing or this expression, this Zarf, is used to describe something in its time or in its place, within a time and within a place. Yeah, so Zarf.
Yeah.
So not the Zarf as in special mudaf, not like fawqa, not like ba'da, not like qabl. Yeah, these are special mudafs, not just any isim that is a mudaf, but special ones. Yeah, and what follows them are usually the mudaf ilay fi mahalli jar. Yeah, but what we are looking at now, this one comes with your half of jar, huruf, not isim. Mudafs are isims. Huruf is halves, letters. Yeah, letters. So now we said that there are three types of half of jars. Yeah, Zaidah, Shabihun bizaid, and Asliyah. Zaidah, Shabihun bizaid, Asliyah. This is like your min and b. Yeah, min and b, which min and b can be Zaidah or Asliyah. Yeah, but it's for emphasis. Yeah, it doesn't introduce any new meaning. It is for emphasis, and it not muta'alliq to anything. It's not muta'alliq to anything in the sentence. It's just there to introduce emphasis. Then we have shabihun bizayid. Yeah, no emphasis, no muta'alliq, but it does introduce new meaning. Yeah, remember, it has the meaning of exception. And what was the other meaning? Can you remember? One was exception and the other one? This is khala, things like that. Never mind. This one, inshallah, Sister Momina, have a look at your notes, yeah? What Shabihun Bizaid is about. But what we are going to look at is your Asliyah. Yeah, your Asliyah. Yeah, so this is what we are going to look at. Now, there are two main types of Shibhul Jumlah which are formed using a half of jar Asliyah together with its isim. Yeah? And these two main types depend on how the āmil, remember we said that a Shibhul Jumlah effectively is in the place of nasab, because it's a detail. Yeah, so it's in the place of nasab. It describes what or when, where or when. Yeah, where or when. Yeah. So sorry. So it is in the place of nasab. So that means there must be something that makes it nasab. Yeah. So this is your āmil. We learned that what we call this as āmil. There are two types. Zarfu Laghwu, al-Laghwu, and Zarfu Mustaqarru fi. Zarfu Mustaqarru fi. And then we went on to describe Laghwu first. Here, I tried to make it simple. But maybe simple is not the way to go. So we have laqad arsalna nuhan ila qawmihi. Yeah, well, this, yeah, is the first example I showed, and I said remember, your Shibh Jumlah, your jar wa majrur, is muta'alliq to something. Yeah, we have this phrase called muta'alliq to something. Now, what does muta'alliq mean? It is linked to something in the sentence. Yeah? Normally fi'il or khabar. Yeah, that's what is muta'alliq to. And then we have something called the muta'alla. The muta'alla. Yeah. So the muta'alla is what it is connected to, and usually your muta'alla is your āmil, the one that made you mansub in the first place. Yeah. So in this case, what's making it fi mahalli nas ila qawmihi is arsalna. Yes, it's mentioned. Yeah, your muta'alla is mentioned. Okay, so this is the first property of your zarful laul. If it's mentioned, right, if it's mentioned, usually it is a verb or an action or something that means like an action, then it's your zarful laul. Straightforward. Yeah. We had certainly sent Noah to his people, so we can see the muta'alla. Sometimes, however, we can't see the muta'alla. It's not there, but it's understood. It's implied. Yes, it's implied. Again, it is something that is pertaining to an action or a verb, something that moves one thing to another place. Yeah, this is something that we need to. There's motion involved. There's movement involved. Yeah. So ila adin akhahum hudan. So here we didn't repeat arsalna. We just said wa ila adin akhahum hudan. But we understand it's still arsalna. Yeah. So your āmil, or what made it mansub in the first place, is not mentioned, but it is implied. And it's not just any āmil. Yeah? This is the other word that we need to remember. It's not just any āmil or any action. It's a particular action. In this case, arsal, sent. Point A to point B. Yeah? So mahzufun, mahsusun means to send. Something that is has, that is specific. Yeah? Mahsusun is something that is specific. So that's the other thing we need to remember. When it is mentioned, that's obvious. When it is not mentioned, it is something specific. It cannot be just anything that can be an āmil. Yeah? What I mean by anything, we will know when we see the second type of zarf. Yeah, the second type of zarf. So here and to add, we sent their brotherhood. Yeah, so this is implied. Now, I'm just repeating, but basically I've just said, but in sentence form. Yeah. So here we are, Shibh Jumlah, whose āmil is mentioned or specifically implied. Yeah, that's what we just saw in the previous slide, but we put it in wordings. Here is the difference here and here. Yeah, this is the general statement for Shibh Jumlah. Okay. Structure, it depends on a specific verb or action. Yeah, the phrase is empty of any hidden pronoun. So that's why we say it's al-Laghwu. Remember, Laghwu means to vacate, to be void. Yeah, and that's where the term came. Yeah, but the thing is, there is a second school of thought. Yeah, that calls it Zarfan Hasan. Yeah, Zarfu Hasun or Zarfan Hasan, depending on what role it plays in this sentence. Yeah, but I think this Zarfa Hasan because it is like a maf'ul in this sentence. Some scholars prefer the term this. Why? Because Laghwu becomes something like it's futile. It's futile. You know, it's just like when we learned about Zaid. Yeah, Zaid. Some of the scholars didn't like the word Zaid because it implied that it's of no use. It's extra. So they then went on to use ṣilah instead of Zaid. So it's just the same case here. But the thing is, it's so well established already, everybody calls it Laghwu, even though the connotation is not so good. Yeah? So that's why we still stick to this, but we need to understand that it's not that it is useless, no, or it's like futile, but it's something that is just void of a pronoun. Nothing bad about it. Yeah, nothing bad about it. So we're just going to go through the same examples here again. Yeah, this is just a more organized way of the previous slide, because that slide was like a short form. Yeah, a short form. Yeah. Now, the āmil can be omitted. Yeah, for other reasons as well. Like in this case, because it's understood, because it's like you have your waw, your half ataf, yeah, so it's understood, it's following this arsalna, yeah. But we can have other cases, yeah, where it can be omitted. Okay, so when it's used in a proverb like this, al-Baqari, yeah, al-Baqari, that means here this is your cow, this is your dog, yeah, so you want to set the dogs on the cows, yeah. So go after them, yeah, something. Oh, you know this, alhamdulillah. Okay, what does it actually mean? And I mean, I know that's the literal. What's the actual meaning? This is literal, is of course you set the dogs to the cows, but what does it actually want to say? Actually, is it you like let loose something?
It wants to I want you to.
Okay.
We say yeah.
Okay. So here's another one. Here's a common saying here where it is omitted. Yes, this is bi abi anta wa ummi. Yeah, this is when we want to say, you know, may my father, my mother, you know, be like sacrificed for you. Yeah, so the words kind of sacrifice. This is what they like to say when they really want to show how into, you know, like you're it. I mean, you know, this is what they like to say. I think to the Sahaba would like, we do anything for you. Yeah. So basically, that's I think what they're trying to say. We do anything for you. Yeah, because you're special. So here, I hope I've got that right. If I've got it wrong, please do tell me. But that's what I understand. Yeah. Now, oath. When there are oaths that does not use ba. If there's an oath like billahi, yeah, then it is permissible to use the āmil. You can say the āmil, yeah, because sometimes you don't want to get mixed, this ba for qasam and the ba for half of jar mixed up. So sometimes you need to have the āmil to differentiate between the two. This is how I understand it, yeah. Otherwise, like here, it's clear cut. It is a qasam, tallahi, yeah, tafta'u tazkuru Yusuf, yeah. So here, then we can omit the āmil, yeah, we can omit the āmil, and in this case, if I'm not mistaken, is I swear, yeah, basically the āmil is I swear, by Allah I swear. So lam al-juhud, remember, I did explain like a few centuries ago, lam al-juhud is a very strong negation. A lam that used to negate very strongly. Yeah. So here, ma kana Allahu li yu'azzibahum wa anta fihim. Yeah, wa anta fihim. So basically, you know, if you're among them, you know, there's no way I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to destroy them. Yeah, if you're still among them, I will not destroy them. Yeah, so this is this is a strong denial of that. Yeah, so qasi then is the hidden verb while you're present among them. Yeah, while you're present among them. Yeah. Okay, so this is when you can omit the āmil. So this is laghwu. Now let's have a look at your mustaqar. Here, Babu mustaqar. Let me see. Now, this one is a Shibh Jumlah where the āmil is usually omitted. It's the case here is not the exception. It is omitted. The āmil is omitted. Yeah, but this āmil is omitted. It's not an āmil that is specific like arsalna, not a verb that you associate with the meaning of the sentence. Yeah, it's just something that is understood and you don't really have to say. So what do I mean by this? Let's say you have a sentence, innaka ala siratim mustaqim. Indeed, you are upon a straight path. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what do you understand by this? You understand it, right? Indeed, you are
Yeah.
upon a straight path means you are firm, you are established on the straight path. Yeah, innaka ala siratim mustaqim. So there is that hidden verb of being, of existing or establishing yourself on this straight path. Because there's no verb here, ala siratim mustaqim. There's no action here, but it is understood that it's there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and it's something that is firm. This is the thing about mustaqar. Yeah, zarfu mustaqar fi, the meaning is inside it, it's built in. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they say there is a hidden pronoun because there has to be a subject involved in this being, in existence, right? So it is implied inside it. That's why we call it mustaqar fihi. Yeah, so this is where the difference between this and laghwu. Laghwu is either mentioned. If it's not mentioned, then it's implied. Here, you don't have to, because all it does is that it's going to be either established or existing. It's always the same meaning. Yeah, it's always the same meaning. Yeah, same general meaning. Okay, so it's mahzufun yeah, meaning general sense, it's not there. Indeed, you're on a straight path. So here we have innaka tasbutu ala siratim mustaqim. This is an example of what it can be. This one is always the same thing. It's always existing or wujuding. So not wujuding. What's the when it's mawjud, yeah, and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. So indeed, you're steadfast on a straight path. You're steadfast on a straight path. Yes. This is tasbutu because this is fi'il. Sabitun is your noun. Yeah. So then it's a different. Sometimes you can take the fa'il, isim fa'il, as a fi'il. I think you know that, yeah, inshallah. Okay. Now I'm going to just summarize all this nicely in simple sentences, yeah. So Shibh whose āmil is omitted in the general sense. Example, it means mustaqirrun, mawjudun, yeah, settled, exists. Why it's called mustaqar? Because there's a hidden āmil and its domir is settled within the phrase. It's understood. It's inside there somewhere. Yeah. So example, innaka ala siratim mustaqim, like what we saw just now. So we just written it in this way. Then, it can either appear either as a verb. You can write it as verb. Yeah. Wa wajadaka, or wa yakuna. Wasabata, istaqara. This Y is N. Yeah. Actually, I should be reading from right to left. I was reading from right to left. So this is actually just N. And here as well, here the noun can be mustaqirrun, wasabitun, wa mawjudun, wa kainun. Yeah, this is understood. So this is your zarfu mustaqar fihi. The exception here is when there is a ṣilah. Yeah, when there is a ṣilah, then the hidden āmil must be a verb. It cannot be a noun. This is when I say exception here, that means it can only appear as a verb, not a noun. Yeah. So like al-lazi fi Makkah, it will be istaqra and not mustaqir. Yeah, mustaqir is your isim mustaqir is isim fa'il. Yeah. Istaqara is actually your family 10 form of qara, which is to be staying there. Yeah, to be staying there. Istaqara fi Makkah. Yeah, so it has to be a verb if it's in a ṣilah. That's the only exception. And here, where your zarf mustaqar can occur many places. Yes, as a khabar. We give an example here. Here, this is tahsaban. This one is your fi'il qalbin, yeah, for sure, like zunnu and things like that, yeah. So here we have a zarf mustaqar, yeah, bi mafazatin, yeah. So this one here we're saying here the meaning is do not think them to be safe from punishment. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Yeah. So this is just that thought. It's either you think for sure or you're not sure. Yeah, remember this is what we mean by verbs of the heart. Here, ulaika ala hudam min rabbihim. This is of course a adjective. Yeah, min rabbihim. So this is also another form of mustaqar. And hal fi zinati in when they do the sin. And here's ṣilah. Yeah, fi samawati wal ard. Yeah, man fi samawati wal ard. When it is a relative clause, this is where your zarful mustaqar will come in when you use it in this circumstance. And i'timad. Now this is a bit special. It's a bit special in a way. Yeah. And basically fillahi shakkun. Yeah, i'timad is a dependent clause, they call it. Is there any doubt about Allah? Yeah, is there any doubt about Allah? Sorry. Yeah, is there any doubt about Allah? Okay, alhamdulillah. So I think we shall stop here, and what we will do is I will remember the exercise that we were doing. We might not have time to do that, so what I'll do is, inshallah, I'll try and find a time and put the answers within the group, yeah, so that you know what are the answers for that. Yeah, based on these two. Yeah, so remember your Zarf al-Laghwu, there is a āmil. Either it's mentioned or it's understood, and it's a specific āmil, whereas your mustaqar, normally you don't mention it, but it is understood to be in existence, yeah, firm, settled, and things like that. Yeah, it has that same meaning. Yeah, it's fixed. Yeah, something like this. So then, inshallah, when I give the answers, hopefully you can see why it is this and why it is not that, and so on, so forth. Yeah. Okay, inshallah. So any questions before we go for tonight, inshallah?
No.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, subhanallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu
Walaikum salam.
Alhamdulillah.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakillah khair.
Amin wa iyyakum.